How are you doing?
We're doing well in Brooklyn. You know, it's like a tale of two cities almost, whether it's New York City compared to the suburbs, or it's downtown Brooklyn compared to New York City. If people live in the suburbs, they're going out to eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. They're not out, during the week. So they're not in the city, so they're spending all the money in the suburbs. So Brooklyn, because we have a strong takeout and bakery business, the 25% occupancy inside plus the seating we have on the sidewalk bed, we're at about 50% of our revenue.
And so what you need, it would seem to me, in other locations would be a return of workers to businesses in New York City, and particularly in a place like Times Square, where I think you have a location, a return of tourists.
We have two locations within 4 blocks of one another in Times Square. We get about 50% of our revenues as a company from those two stores. We need tourism. We need office workers to come back to their offices and please go to work. And we need Broadway. And anyone who ever takes going to a Broadway show for granted after COVID-19 and this much time of being away from it, I think we're all going to appreciate it a lot more when it comes back.
How have you dealt with the regulations about occupancy? What do you have a bone to pick with the governor or the mayor?
I have no bone to pick. Listen, as someone said, some people are still unwilling to dine inside, and I get that. The weather's been very favorable. People have been allowed to dine outside. Our restaurant in Brooklyn has 420 seats, so now we have 105. That 105 is so spread out, Tyler, that people feel really safe and really comfortable because it's not 6 feet, it's not even 8 feet, it's more like 12 or 15 feet between tables because it's such a big restaurant. We would have the same thing in the city. The problem in the city is I could open next week. There's no one there in the center of New York City.
Yeah. We'll pick up on the PPP on another time, Alan. You've put it to work with respect to that location that is reopening. But let me ask you about something that came up at the debate last night, and that was Mr. Biden's plan to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. What would that do to you?
We're already there anyway.
Go ahead.
Juniors as a company has never really been a minimum wage payer. We've always tried to stay ahead, so we're already at the 15 in New York City. He's talking about the federal wage. Our wages have been going up year over year, every January. We've managed to just be a more efficient business. Obviously the tip credit that you get when you own a restaurant, which is full-time waiters and waitresses get paid less, but they obviously make a lot more because of the tips that they get. And we give them that environment to work in. So that's a little bit of a saving for restaurant businesses. Restaurants are going to be on the precipice of failure for the next several years. Because getting out of this COVID-19 and getting back to business is going to be difficult enough.
Keep fighting, Alan. Thanks. Alan Rosen.
I promise you I will. And we'll keep baking, too.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.